What if I told you that the world as we know it could be drastically changed in an instant? That the next world war could happen sooner than we think? The thought is terrifying, but it's important that we understand the potential consequences of such a catastrophic event. Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. In today's video, we'll be discussing what will happen if World War III broke out. We'll explore the various consequences that could arise, including loss of life, destruction of infrastructure, displacement of people, environmental devastation, and political instability. If you found this video informative and thought-provoking, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Number 1. Loss of life. The loss of life in a world war would be truly catastrophic, and it's difficult to fully comprehend the scale of the human tragedy that would result. In the two previous world wars, an estimated 75 million people lost their lives, and it's possible that the death toll in a third global conflict could be even higher. One of the biggest factors contributing to the loss of life in a world war would be the use of weapons of mass destruction. The detonation of nuclear weapons would cause unimaginable devastation, with the immediate effects of the blast killing thousands or even millions of people. The long-term effects, including radiation sickness and increased rates of cancer and other diseases, would also contribute to the death toll for decades or even centuries to come. Chemical and biological weapons would also be a major threat in a world war, as they can be used to target large numbers of people quickly and effectively. These weapons can cause widespread death and suffering, with the potential to kill millions of people in a short period of time. In addition, the use of conventional weapons, such as bombs, missiles, and guns, would also contribute to the loss of life, particularly among military personnel and civilians caught in the crossfire. Number 2. Destruction of infrastructure. The destruction of infrastructure in a world war would be widespread and devastating. Cities, transportation networks, industrial centers, and other critical infrastructure would all be vulnerable to attack, and the resulting damage would be extensive. The impact of this destruction would be felt in multiple ways and would have far-reaching consequences for the global economy. Cities are often a primary target in war, as they are centers of population and commerce. The destruction of cities would result in the displacement of millions of people, the loss of homes, businesses, and cultural landmarks, and the disruption of vital services such as healthcare and education. It would also leave a lasting psychological impact on survivors, who would be forced to cope with the trauma of losing everything they knew. Transportation networks such as highways, railways, and airports would also be targeted in a world war. This would make it difficult for people to travel and for goods to be transported, which would have a severe impact on the economy. It would also make it challenging for emergency services and aid organizations to reach affected areas, potentially exacerbating the humanitarian crisis. Industrial centers, which are critical for the production of goods and services, would also be vulnerable in a world war. The destruction of these centers would lead to a shortage of essential goods, such as food, medicine, and fuel, and would also result in widespread job loss. This would have a knock-on effect on the broader economy, leading to decreased economic activity, increased unemployment, and potentially even a global recession. Number 3. Displacement of people. The displacement of people is one of the most devastating consequences of a world war. Millions of people would be forced to flee their homes, either as refugees or due to the destruction of their homes and communities. This would result in a humanitarian crisis, with people facing a range of challenges as they try to rebuild their lives. Refugees are people who are forced to leave their homes due to conflict, persecution, or other reasons. In a world war, the number of refugees would be unprecedented, with millions of people seeking safety and shelter in other countries. This would put an enormous strain on host countries, which may not have the resources or infrastructure to support large numbers of refugees. Refugees would face challenges such as food and water shortages, lack of shelter, and exposure to disease. Even those who are not refugees would still face significant challenges in the aftermath of a world war. The destruction of homes and communities would leave many people without shelter or basic services, such as healthcare and education. In addition, the disruption of essential services, such as water and electricity, would make it difficult for people to meet their basic needs. This could lead to widespread hunger, thirst, and disease, further exacerbating the humanitarian crisis. Number 4. Environmental devastation. The environmental devastation caused by a world war would be immense and long-lasting. The use of nuclear weapons, chemical and biological agents, and other destructive technologies would have a severe impact on the environment, contributing to the destruction of ecosystems and pollution of the air, water, and soil. The use of nuclear weapons in a world war would have catastrophic consequences for the environment. The radiation released by nuclear explosions would have long-term effects on the health of humans, animals, and plants, as well as the overall environment. The radioactive fallout would contaminate the air, water, and soil, making it difficult for plants to grow and for animals to survive. The resulting pollution would also affect the climate, leading to changes in weather patterns and global temperatures. Number 5. Political instability. The political instability caused by a world war would be a significant challenge for the international community. A world war would likely result in the collapse of many governments, as well as the emergence of new ones. This would create a power vacuum that could be exploited by extremist groups or foreign powers seeking to expand their influence. In addition, the geopolitical balance of power would be fundamentally altered, potentially leading to new alliances and global power struggles. One of the most significant consequences of political instability is the potential for extremist groups to gain power. These groups may take advantage of the chaos and instability caused by the war to seize control of territory, resources, and populations. This could lead to further violence and conflict, as these groups seek to establish their own political systems and exert their influence over others. So that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.